Hello everyone and welcome back to Command & Conquer Red Alert 3 Uprising, and welcome back to the Commanders Challenge. Here's the next map, Feud, in which we unlock the Archer Maiden. So yeah, let's see who awaits us here. In the Empire of the Rising Sun, battlefield commanders settle their disputes and trade their honor by conducting elaborate wargames, such as the one you are about to interrupt. After all, we could use a better understanding of Imperial tactics and military traditions. Together, your opponents here may pose a threat, but their tradition dictates that such duels must never be interrupted. So why not let the venerable Commander Shinzo and his wayward protege Kenji wear each other down before you send them both packing? We are going to do this, and we're going to play as the Empire of the Rising Sun again. I'm not going to do this for every map. I'm going to play all of the factions, but I might play Empire a little more than the other factions. We'll see.
You have no place here, Gaijin. This dispute is between Kenji and myself. Do not come between us.
Yes, if you knew what's best for you, you'd just stay out of the way. Go ahead, run along.
So, we've got a massive army here. Kenji and Shinzo, they will fight one another. It's essentially a battle that's designed for the units to knock one another out, and they won't really lose against one another. At least not unless you take a really long time. So what we are going to do is, we're going to expand a little bit, exploit the fact that they won't attack me first, and then we're going to build a massive army and just roll over them, or maybe moderately massive, because they will take quite a while until they build up their forces. So it's not actually that difficult to overcome their bases. Yeah, as you could see, we only start with a construction yard here. That's typical for most of the maps. There are a couple of maps where you have some more units, or occasionally even a base. But for the most part, it's only the enemy commander that starts with more stuff, obviously. And you have to make do with just your starting money and this construction vehicle here. So let's get another refinery core. And I'm not quite sure whether I should probably take over that derrick there. I'm not quite sure whether I can take over this one here. Oh, yeah, here we get a little message. That could actually trigger their attack, so I'm probably not going to do it. Instead, let's just get this engineer for today and get another refinery. We can probably take over these ones here. We could take over all of these refineries, because Shinzo and Kenji will not bother to attack those until we actually declare war. But that might not be necessary. So here we go. And you can deploy yourself over here. And I think I'm going to place another one over here. That should be sufficient to get a nice army going. Yeah, the advantage with the Empire here is that I can just build these refineries and deploy them. I don't need to bother with Sputniks or the Allied expansion hubs. And it's not really worse, it's just a little bit more convenient, and I just have the feeling that with the Empire I can expand so much faster. With the Allies it always feels kind of slow because you don't have cranes. Even though I think the Allies are not necessarily a weaker faction. Then again, I'm not quite sure which factions I consider to be the most powerful in multiplayer in Red Alert 3. Because I haven't really played this game in multiplayer much. I played all the games in multiplayer occasionally, but not really elaborately, and I'm by no means good enough to judge which faction is the best. So let's see. We do have tsunami tanks, and we've got mech tangoos, which is convenient because these guys can also fly. That's pretty much it. I'm probably not going to bother with any infantry, because they have a lot of Archer Maidens, and while these Archer Maidens aren't super strong, they can still be a little bit of a pain. So, should I build... Yeah, maybe let's get one more refinery and set that up here, and then we're good. Here we go. You set up yourself here. It'll probably take a while until that pays off, because it's quite a distance here. But 6 refineries should give us some very decent income. In fact, I might build a second arms factory, because yeah, let's gather these units here, because it might take a while until These only cost 1,000. I thought those were more expensive. Well, good for me, I guess. Well, they are weaker than... They definitely feel weaker than the other factions' tanks. But they're also amphibious. So I guess that balances that. And you can... I think you can build them in the docks as well. So let's get another core here. And let's maybe get a second mecha bay. Can deploy yourself over here. It doesn't really matter all that much. And then I'm going to pump out a couple of Mechatengus. Mainly against infantry. And the tsunami tanks against their buildings. So I'm not quite sure which one to attack first. It doesn't really matter. I think they pretty much have the same build-up script. Of course, if I attack one of them, that will give the other one a little more time to build up his base. But yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter all that much. Let's maybe build 10 of each. The tanks for tearing down buildings and the Mechatengus against infantry. And then we should be good. I mean, you can still build more units while we're attacking. And if you want to beat this in part-time, you can probably exploit the fact that these bases aren't really well set up before they attack, so you can probably rush in with a dojo, build some engineers to take over the buildings, and build some tank busters to tear down their buildings that you don't want to take over, because tank busters are actually pretty lethal, especially if you have nothing to counter them, or nothing to really counter them well. They can tear through everything that you can throw at them in the beginning. So these guys here are ready. So, and it seems like I'm still building up money faster than I'm spending it. So I should probably bookmark these ones here. And got another upgrade. Sleeper Ambush. Yeah, they mixed up the order of these powers here a little bit. Probably because it's single player. I could actually Sleeper Ambush them here. I think that would be pretty hilarious, because I don't really have anything to throw at me here. Let's actually do that, because actually, we don't even have to attack right now. We can just do that afterwards. Even if it doesn't work, I still think it's pretty funny. So seems like we can build a lot more stuff. Let's just continue to spam these guys here, and let's maybe have you gather over here, just for convenience's sake. And now let's move out. Let's move over here. And are they sending... Doesn't look like they're sending stuff against me. It seems like they're just hanging out here in general. And I'll probably not going to get attacked until... Oh.
You have disturbed the order of this battle. Did I not warn you? Now you must be punished.
So looks like my units auto-attacked here. That's of course not good, especially because they did really deal a whole lot of damage here. But that's okay by me, because these guys here are still busy. I think they still fight one another, or do they? I'm not quite sure. But it doesn't really matter. I'm going to just tear this base here apart quickly. And then it doesn't really matter what they're doing anyway. So, Mechatengu. Oh, engineers. I'm not really sure what you plan with those guys, but it doesn't really matter. There we go. First barracks down, and second barracks down. They will actually build heavier units later on, but for now they just stick whichever they have here, and you're not going to get far. Sorry, there we go. Bam. So let's just take out these power plants here. Oh, and looks like they're going after me here. That's okay. Let's just get a couple of Mechatengus over there. And in the meantime, a main army can blow up their refineries. And they might actually sell all their stuff after those are down, I'm not quite sure. And it doesn't really matter all that much. So, and if we destroy this power plant here, then these units should essentially just disappear. So let's do just that, and now we can gather over here again. There we go.
Kenji knows no discipline. This is why we lost this day.
Well, technically you haven't lost yet, but of course you will lose eventually against me, because there's just no other way. But they probably designed these clips that way, so it doesn't really matter which one you defeat first, so I don't have to script and film different clips for that. You can garrison that building. I'm just going to ignore that. Or maybe you aren't going to garrison that building. Well, whatever. I don't really mind. Let's blow up this. Let's blow up this archer maiden here. There we go. You can go get over here. I don't really need to destroy this, but I may as well do it because it denies them resources. And they're sending their miner after me. Yeah, and the AI has a tendency to use this mass attack with their archer maidens, which isn't really all that effective in my opinion. In my opinion, that's not really the best choice. Ooh, and they've got quite a nice infantry army here. Of course, most of these units aren't really suitable for fighting what I have, except for the tank busters, so it doesn't really matter all that much. And oh, they did build a power plant here. That's annoying because I probably have to take that out eventually. So you guys can blow this up, and you guys just get up here and finish off the main base. So I might actually use some Mekatengus to... Are you still building? Yeah, to blow up that power plant eventually, but first let me take care of their barracks. Oh, you are hiding in the ground here. Yeah, I saw that. There we go. And you can't hide forever. So here we go. These tank busters must be stopped, so let's just put an end to them. And let's blow up the war factory. Or Mecha Bay. Yeah, it's essentially a war factory. So I like how they're even using their miners against me. I think that happens only when they're really desperate. And then they're selling their refineries and building new ones at the same time. That's interesting, to say the least. Looks like they sold this power plant here, which is convenient too. And here we go.
You didn't win. Shinzo weakened me before you even showed up. Next time it will be different.
Ooh. Yeah, they'll say that every single time. They will always bitch and complain after every single one of their losses. So, looks like we almost did that in part-time. I thought I actually need a little bit too long for that, but hey, I'm not going to complain. And we got a little bit of a time bonus here too. Efficiency, I don't know whether this is units killed versus units built. I don't think it is. I think I probably killed more than triple the units I built. But hey, I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. And I shall see you next time. Take care and goodbye.